We're here in Assisi today, day 3 roughly of our pilgrimage. And why Assisi? What's so important about it? Assisi is probably one of the most picturesque medieval towns remaining in Italy, and there are quite a few. But it's more importantly because of St. Francis and St. Clare. And as we'll see as we go around town and we go into the Basilica in particular, their understanding of what God did through St. Francis at the time of the church it's phenomenal. I mean, we're talking about a religious order that's 800 years old. But what God did in Francis was renew the church, literally. The Pope had a dream at the time of a poor man wrapped in brown clothes, lifting up the church as she was falling. And she was falling because, in a sense, she'd become professional, she'd become rich, she'd become powerful, but she had lost her faith. And it was through Francis that God was able to breathe back into the church this spirit of faith, this faith in the incarnation and the presence of Christ living in us through our baptism and giving himself to us through the mysteries of the church. And he so identified himself with the Lord, and he so gave God permission to work in him and be in him, that the Lord shared everything of himself with Francis. In the depth of his poverty, the deep knowledge of walking through the mystery of creation and how creation constantly speaks to us about Christ and the coming of Christ. But also in his very suffering and death, as Francis carried in his wounds, in his hands, the wounds of Christ. So he literally was like Christ, in a sense, came again through Francis to remind the church to breathe his own life into her heart. And the mystery of Clare is every bit as profound. Here is a woman who, in a sense, caught the fire that Francis had to enter into holy poverty so that Christ could be born through us into the world. That in imitating the poverty of Jesus, who emptied himself, being God, emptied himself to become man, and being humbler yet, accepted death on the cross. And following this path of Jesus that he came to us through, that we might go back to him through, that the mystery of the faith is known. And this is the challenge for all Christians, in a sense. What we see in Francis is a really unique gift of Jesus identifying the soul to himself. What we see in Clare is, in a sense, the purity that all Christians are called to live by the mysteries of the faith, and to, in a sense, choose ways that we can be poor so that we can let Jesus live in us, be in us, and love through us. So Clare is remarkable because her body's incorrupt. So we're going to go into her church. We're going to see the cross of San Damiano that spoke to Francis and began this whole pilgrimage of faith in his life. A cross that also became a very important part of her life, as that church became a monastery for the first order of the Sisters of St. Clare. And then we're going to go down into the tomb and we're going to see her body as well laid out. And she was beautiful in life, she's beautiful in death, because she's filled with the beauty of the resurrection. So, on we go.